is Ken Rose. The date is September 14th, 2025, and we are here at Adams Morgan Day. And I'm here with, you say your name for the camera?
Greer.
Greer. And do I have permissions to record this interview today?
Absolutely.
All right, wonderful. Now, Greer, are you from the DC area? And if not, where did you grow up?
Yeah, I am from DC. I'm from Uptown, 14th and Gallatin. So, yeah.
Okay, so do you have any experience with Adams Morgan, whether you lived here, whether you've just been in the area a lot?
Definitely. There's been a few shows that I've hosted up the street at the top of Adams Morgan. Air Lounge has seen my face a couple times, thrown a brunch there. And then at the end of 18th, next to L'Oreal Plaza, which obvious classic, grew up in there, is Embers, where I'm currently the creative director.
Okay, so I'm very interested. I want to get into Embers, but you said that you've done a lot of work around the city. So what is the work that you did for those institutions?
Yeah, I've worked some festivals in the city, and I've done a few productions at Howard, and it's really just impacted my view of DC. I've gone to a few movie premieres, and I think just the culture of entertainment in DC has shifted so much, and it's so welcoming to so many different industries. So there's a crossover now in the place that I am at Embers, where we can have art, books, glassware, just anything you can think of in the same room, artists of all kinds, whether that's musicians or painters or all artists. There's so many different types of artists, and I think it's a beautiful place where community can just connect and everybody relates to something in our store. So it's really nice.
It's very beautiful, and I want to touch back on what you had said about community, but first just to move a little bit. Tell me about Embers. What is that exactly?
So Embers is a dispensary at the end of, it's at the cross of 18th and Swan. So literally right next to L'Oreal Plaza, Planter, Cafe Chino. Yeah, Metro Vintage too. Love them.
Now, with you saying that some of the favorite things that you love about DC is the fact that it's so community oriented, and no matter where you go, you still feel that semblance of community there. Is there anything about, whether it be Adams Morgan, whether it be DC in general, that you've noticed a shift in the community since you've grown up here, whether positive or negative?
I think there's pros and cons to especially a city like DC, and growing up here, it's interesting to have friends here still, like I am, that I've known since elementary school. There's people that I've met in my adulthood that I never would have met if I didn't live here now. It's just, you see a lot of culture shifts. I've seen a lot of mayors throughout the city, but I've also been blessed to see like a lot of presidents. And I think living in DC and the political side of things, it's not always pretty. That could be a negative, and I think it's positive in the sense that going back to community, like we really are vocal here. Everybody has a voice, and we want so many different things, and we enact so much change in this city. It's really beautiful to see. Like, there's no city in America like DC. I've seen diversity shift in this city. Me growing up, my mom was born and raised here. My grandmother moved here from South Carolina. So we're 3 generations here, and I've seen it go. I was young when it kind of started to shift out of the Chocolate City era, but my mom lived through that, and my dad is also from here. So having them both raised me in the culture in the city. I was going to go-go's early, like that's a piece that a lot of people don't even know existed in DC. So it's pretty cool to see in some aspects, and it's sometimes you just gotta accept the inevitable with the shifts, but I love it. I wouldn't live anywhere else or like grow up anywhere else, for sure.
Now, do you have a favorite place throughout DC, or favorite memory of DC?
Ooh, okay. 2009, Barack Obama's inauguration. what? The glamour, the Black excellence. Yes, I loved it. That was so much fun. I went, and I was a kid, but I was a social justice kid. Like, I was writing letters to the White House and getting letters back, and I'm coming to school like, yeah, I did that. You know, just like being a part of clubs growing up, and just making community there. It's just, yeah, that was such a pivotal moment in DC. I think so many people were proud to be Black, or just proud to have voted somebody like really strong and about his community and where he comes from into office. I have another good memory. I mean, I have plenty of good memories. The list could go on.
We got all the time in the world.
Growing up on 14th Street, I lived on a 3-house block, and we would have backyard parties. My neighbor was a rock star, like had a band in his basement. It was just awesome. The differences, but the similarities, and everybody's just, honestly, DC gets a bad rep for the people. They say that we're really mean, I've heard. But if you actually take the time to like talk to anybody from DC, you're not as intimidated, and you actually get to know like a really like awesome piece of what the city really is and the culture about it, why we do stuff like go-go, why we have so many artists, why entertainment is so important to us. Like, I don't know, growing up you see bands playing, you see Shy Glizzy coming up, like the Nats winning. It's just so many different memories.
proud Washingtonian.
Yeah.
Now, coming to the event that we are at right now, Adams Morgan Day, because you said that you work very closely with Embers. So
Yes.
What is it you guys are doing here at this festival?
Yeah, we're promoting unity across like music, art, 21 and up audiences, but you know, really just pushing out the message of like community and what everybody can relate to. I feel like music is something that everybody has a favorite song, everybody has a favorite album, artist, whatever it may be. Same thing with art, like people have their favorite art pieces. So it's just really nice to be building in a community that's not necessarily like super retail, but it's still bringing people together. Yeah.
Now, as from everything that you just said, you love your city, you're going to
Love it
represent
down.
it to the day that you die, 100%. All the experiences you've had have been great. But one of the last questions I have for you is, do you, in the next 5 years or so, to say that, what do you envision for this neighborhood or DC in general? Do you want like, to stay the same, stay vibe, same energy?
No.
Or do you
I would like to see a lot of things change in the city. I would like the National Guard to go home. We love you guys, but you gotta go. I would like to see a lot of things change. I think community here is priceless. We're currently having Adams Morgan Day, but like this weekend was filled with art all night, and the different neighborhoods all came together to represent. And I think that's just so important. So pushing more of that, more Adams Morgan Days, more festivals where people can come out and really know who's in their community too. I think that's important. Like, oftentimes we're trying to run these businesses and keep them open, so you don't really get to go say what's up to your neighbor. So I think the idea of just live events and having the people in the streets will change the culture on its own, and the things that need to be changed will be changed. I have faith.
All right, that's very good that you have faith. It's good to have faith. It's good to have hope. That's all we got right now, unfortunately. Now, as somebody that has grown up here and what you said you've envisioned for the future, do you feel that it's somewhat of a double-edged sword with the inclusion of other people into the city? Because a lot of people would say, DC is a very welcoming environment. We want to welcome people and create that community and that outreach here. But also we want DC to stay what it's always been.
Washingtonian.
When you say like Chocolate City, we
Yeah.
want to implement that. However, with gentrification and stuff like that, so do you feel that in order to advance, we must invite people in, or is it a thing of, I kind of want to preserve the position that we are in right now, or have been in the past?
When you say double-edged sword, I think I immediately think about the idea that this city is better because of the diversity and the additions to the culture. However, I think that there are methods to the ways that we're bringing people into the city and also pushing people who have been native here out of the city. I think that's redundant, personally. And if there are ways where we can really provide for the people that have been here their whole lives, and really, like, some people, they say, like, don't make it out of DC. And while that's not, like, I want people to see the world, so that's just my opinion, but it's not a terrible thing to be here and stay here. We offer a lot, and I think that if given the chance, especially within the Black community here, like, there's so much opportunity to really advance our culture as a Black people, and it often gets stomped out due to things like politics or just the gentrification of the city. It's tough to find that balance, and I'm hoping that we can figure that out so that people can start to really work together and have that unity that Chocolate City had. You know, I want to get back to the days where literally, like, Admo is a regular. You know, you would find out that there was something going on 18th Street, 16th Street, wherever, Carter Barron. Like, there's so many places that used to just be openly rotating events, and we just can't have that anymore until we find a way to unify in a respectful way.
That's very good.
For sure.
It's important for, like, people like yourself, young people who are from the
Yeah.
area, to also be very vocal about the changes that are happening in
Yeah.
DC. And again, preserving that history, but also, you know, welcoming, you know, a larger community. There's nothing can't really hurt that as well. But Greer, we appreciate you for taking the time out.
Thank you.